Good morning, members. It's the appointed time, and we have a quorum. This is the panel on development for 2018-19 election of chairman. I draw members' attention to Rule 77, Bracket 6 of the Rules of Procedure. A member who is the chairman or deputy chairman of a government advisory body in respect of matters which a panel considers to be directly related to the terms of this panel shall not be chairman or deputy chairman of the panel. ROP 77, Bracket 7 also provides that a member shall not be chairman or deputy chairman of more than one panel at the same time. According to the election procedure set out in Rule 22 and Appendix IV of the House Rules, I now invite nominations for the chairman for the office of the chairman. A valid nomination shall be made orally by a member, seconded by at least one other member, and accepted by the member being nominated. Nominations, please. Mr. Gary Chan. I nominate Mr. Leung Chi-chung. Seconded by Mr. Ronick Chan. Mr. Leung Chi-chung, do you accept? Yes, I do. Any other nominations? I don't know why people count to 5 instead of 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nomination is closed. Congratulations, Mr. Leung Chi-chung. Thank you. Next is election of deputy chairman. I would like to ask, any nominations? Mr. Gary Chan? Mr. Kenneth Lau indicated to me that he would like to run for the election of deputy chairman. So Mr. Lau is nominated, seconded by Mrs. Regina Ip. Mr. Kenneth Lau has just arrived. Do you accept, Mr. Lau? Do you accept? Mr. Kenneth Lau agrees, accepts the nomination. Any other nominations? We will follow what Mr. Tommy Jones said, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No one else? Mr. Kenneth Lau is elected ipso facto. Next, schedule of meetings for the 2018-19 session. Ms. Tanya Chan? Well, there is also another item that is the schedule of meetings. You have the schedule. There's nothing out of the ordinary there. In the last session, the panel has set the 4th Tuesday at 2:30 to have the regular meeting. If you don't oppose to that, we will follow this practice. I ask members to refer to the proposed schedule of regular meetings. Well, because of public holiday, I asked for the December and July meeting to be put forward. We have a lot of items, so there will be 3 hours in each meeting. Any objections? Well, if it's 4 hours, it will be a different matter. Date, items for discussion at the next meeting. Mr. Ben Chan? Thank you. I see that in the list, it talks about a review of the Hong Kong PSG. planning and standards guideline, and it says that the review would involve different government departments. So please give us a clear answer in relation to the Hong Kong PSG. Will we have a discussion? If not, give us an explanation. Well, there are some items that we have set for discussion. There is the briefing on policy address set on the 23rd of October, which is the lift modernization program, and there is also enhancement of optimization of the use of vacant government sites. Next, Ms. Tanya Chan. The next meeting is on the 23rd of October. Apart from the briefing on the policy address, there are also 2 items. Is 3 hours enough? There are a number of things in the policy address that are related to the panel on development. Perhaps, Chairman, you may consider that in relation to a Lantau Tomorrow vision, which is trouble, perhaps we need to have a discussion. What about trees? Tree management. Well, after this typhoon, we hope that there will be a proper discussion. There is also policy of small house. It's been in the queue for a very long time. There is also the land sharing pilot scheme. It's on the policy address. So about East Lantau and land sharing, there can be separate items. The small houses and tree management, well, I hope that there will be a set day, because for small houses, it's been in the queue for a very long time. Mr. Ray Chan. You may recall that on the 19th of September, there was a whole day meeting on consultation of land supply. We wonder whether the panel would need to follow the final report. But I can now tell you that a decision has already been made as stated in the policy address. So do we need another discussion? I'm very concerned about reclamation because of Typhoon Mangkhut. People start to have questions about whether Hong Kong is suitable for reclamation. I ask the administration to study into reclamation because there may be a change in consideration given the fact that we will have more and more super typhoons. I think for the task force on land supply, there will be a final report in October. There will be an opportunity for us to discuss it. Well, reclamation is also related to the policy address. Rest assured, Mr. Ray Chan, that it will be on the list of outstanding items for discussion. It will appear on the agenda. Dr. Kokaki, can you hear me? We only have 3 hours in the next meeting. There are a lot of controversial areas in the policy address, in particular the artificial island. The government is not going to consult the public, so the only gatekeeper will be the LegCo. We have the responsibility to properly discuss it. This is quite imminent. Yesterday, when it was first announced, to today, given the various fora and platforms that she appeared, there will be a lot of questions about the artificial island of 1,700 hectares. Whether it is on the 23rd of October or thereafter, I do hope that we will have adequate time to discuss about the artificial islands. Otherwise, I would think that we won't have enough time. I believe members will actively participate in the discussion. If we don't have enough time on the 23rd, please set another day in October or before the 23rd of October for us to have the discussion. Mr. Wilson I do agree that we need to discuss about the functions and coordination role of the three Management Office. After Typhoon Mangkhut and the disaster suffered by trees, we do see that there is a need to properly review its functions and roles. Another thing is energizing Kowloon East. I see that there is a progress report. However, when I go to the district, I hear from a lot of members of the public that they are very concerned about energizing Kowloon East and its office, as well as the transport supporting network. So I think we do need discussions on tree management office as well as energizing Kowloon East. Dr. Cheng Chung Tai, please switch on his microphone. Well, from Shopping Central Link to Lantau development, about public-private partnership, the contract approach, tender exercise. Perhaps we do need to think about contract work and tender exercises. This is a system that was rarely discussed. However, it's become very controversial. Mr. Stephen Ho, I see in the policy address that there will be a plan to reclaim 1,700 hectares of land. I look forward to it. Discussing about development alone is not enough. I hope there will be a joint panel meeting to discuss with other different panels on issues related to comprehensive development. Say, for example, where there is reclamation, fishery operations will be affected, use of agricultural land, there will be compensation issues. Last term, when we asked the administration, they always said that is something to do with a different panel. I don't want them to circumvent the issue anymore. Please arrange for a joint meeting. These are issues about reclamation and Typhoon Mangkhut. Well, coastal protection is very important. That is under the purview of the Marine Department and the Development Bureau. There should be a comprehensive review because we don't want to see another occurrence of the Sai Kung sewage treatment plants. If you reclaim, it will touch on coastal areas, so these are pertinent. Mr. Vincent Chang, perhaps we need to discuss about the role of the URA in urban renewal projects. When it comes to urban renewal, it seems that the government has not done the job properly. Neither has the URA, so we need to discuss about the role of the URA. Dr. Helena Wong. Dr. Wong? After Typhoon Mangkhut, we have seen a lot of incidents involving glass being shattered on buildings. So we do need to discuss the standards of buildings, whether these standards have become obsolete. Last year we have mentioned about this. Is on the list. Is Number 11, a review of the Hong Kong planning standards and guidelines. The time is to be decided. Well, in relation to the Hong Kong PSG, there is also the problem of being obsolete. However, there has been only fragmented discussion on public markets, car parks, childcare services. It may involve different areas, but the Hong Kong PSG is the responsibility of the Development Bureau, so we do need to have a review. Anyone else? Mr. Holden Chow. Last year, in the Finance Committee, I have mentioned about this. The study on Route 11. It should also cover Tsing Yi and Lantau Island. There was a mention in the policy address. I see that there are some dotted lines in relation to the connectivity between Tsing Yi and Lantau Island. If the study has been completed, I do believe that it is easier than Route 11. because that's what I was told in the Finance Committee. Can we have a discussion in the panel? Mr. Jonas Ho, I see that for number 6 on the list, it is set to have a discussion about technical amendments to subsidiary legislations under Cap 123. However, the policy address talked about construction of photovoltaic panels. Perhaps items 6 and 9 can be discussed together.
And second, there will be the new territories exempted houses, illegal building works. And for the installation of the solar panels, how do we strike a balance? I believe and 6 and 9 can be discussed together if you don't mind. I think they could be combined into one to be discussed in the fourth quarter of this year. Okay. Any other members like to speak? If not, the views forwarded by you will be raised when in a meeting with the secretaries to formulate a working plan for the coming year. By then, your suggestions will be, and the priority of discussion will be raised at AOB, and for the scrutinizing the Joint Committee to monitor the implementation of the West Kowloon Cultural District, and it's been agreed that at this panel and the Home Affairs panel to set up a joint subcommittee in 2018 to 19 for the work to continue. And members are welcome to the views of that. If you agree, the Secretariat will invite members to join this subcommittee. Currently, the members of the panel, unless they stipulate would like to withdraw from the joint subcommittee, they should continue to be a member of this subcommittee. And this subcommittee will meet the first meeting. We decided whether we need to re-elect the chairman and deputy chairman, Dr. Helena Wong. I support to keep this subcommittee to monitor the development of the WKCD. If not, thank you for coming. Meeting is adjourned.